Welcome to CoinTalk, episode 4. We got Crypto Jiggy, Candle. We're going to be talking about XRP and XRP Las Vegas. All right, so what did you think about XRP Las Vegas? Was it good? Was it a bust? What do you think?
Extremely bullish. I was excited for it. Brad Garlinghouse headlining, being the CEO of Ripple, being transparent, letting the whole entire XRP community know what's up, and being very strong, backing XRP, saying that the stablecoin has nothing to do with XRP. He's really standing on business when it comes to it, and everybody in the community fully supported it. What do you feel like?
I think XRP Las Vegas was actually bullish, and he kind of gave us an insight of what's really happening behind the scenes. So for the people that don't know, Brad Garlinghouse confirmed at Las Vegas, Brad Garlinghouse confirmed that the Las Vegas Sphere will not place XRP logo, will not place the XRP logo on it, right? But it will place Bitcoin, it'll place Ethereum's logo. So there's some sort of like behind the scenes like turmoil with XRP. You know, I was looking at, like, I heard that, I was looking into it and trying to figure out why. And the only conclusion I could really think about is, you know, when you go back to the Epstein files and you see how, you know, Jeffrey Epstein was actually against Ripple and XRP. Yeah. And he was an early investor when it came to Bitcoin. So it kind of makes sense why behind the scenes, everyone is kind of like, they don't want to support XRP and for what it stands for, but they want to push Bitcoin. Yeah. You know what I mean? What do you think about that?
Well, at the convention, Brad Garlinghouse spoke in front of everyone, with everyone on the board. That was important. And he did reveal publicly that it was brought up to him that Epstein and his entourage had something to do with XRP not fully going on the way. So his business partner mentioned to him multiple times, and Brad was like, whatever. He thought it was conspiracy. Now that the files are out, and Brad Garlinghouse said this himself, it made a lot of sense. Epstein could be a big factor in why XRP is not $10,000 now today. So, and you know, Jeffrey Epstein was also manipulating the markets. He was doing that, in fact, especially during COVID and all of this. So it's no surprise to me that this is true.
Yeah. Well, I think it is massive when you think about the reason why, like, why are you not allowing XRP out of all cryptocurrencies to be placed on the Las Vegas Sphere? Yeah. Right. So you start diving deep, and then you start looking into who owns the Las Vegas Sphere. So I was diving deep yesterday, and it's a what is it? An Irish American family called the Dolan family. Okay. For the people that don't understand, that actually has ties to you know, Israel in a sense, right? Yeah, I did some deep diving, which I wasn't supposed to say that, but I'll say it. Yeah. And you know, it kind of makes sense why they're not placing XRP on the Las Vegas Sphere.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, is the Dolan family responsible for HBO?
They are responsible for HBO.
There is some kind of tie with entertainment and, you know, Mr. You know who. So, you know, I don't think that you're wrong. You know, there's a lot of truth to a lot of things with the files being out. And now we have 1 million pages that you got to go through. But I wouldn't be surprised if something pops up.
Yeah, well, 100%. I agree. Now, for the second question, right? Once the Clarity Act gets passed, how fast will the price of XRP surge?
Once the Clarity Act passes, XRP will almost instantly surge the price, because now the institutional adoption will take place. The only reason why banks aren't adopting XRP right now is because of all the regulations. Once the Clarity Act goes ahead and passes, XRP is actually going to be the #1 crypto that moves forward at a very fast pace. What do you feel about it?
I think once the Clarity Act gets passed, I think we could definitely see XRP's price start to surge. And I think, like you said, it's going to happen overnight. Yes. Right? It's going to, the Clarity Act basically says to big money, right, that now it's safe. Yeah. The assets are safe to invest in, and that's when you're going to see that tsunami of money pour into XRP 100%. And other utility tokens, HBAR, right, XLM. everything that is utility, money's going to start flowing into it. But everything that is not utility, like meme coins, anything like pump.fun,
Yeah.
is gonna kind of run dry and could actually go to zero overnight. And I think that's the flip side. What people have to understand that once the Clarity Act passes, the only thing that's gonna benefit from it is utility tokens. Everything else could go to zero, right? It's good for crypto, but at the same time, it's bad for crypto. It's bad for retail, I would say, because retail is using pump.fun to create meme coins and make money. And that Clarity Act is going to strip that away from them. So I would say, yes, the Clarity Act is extremely bullish for XRP. It serves the biggest purpose for XRP reaching $10,000 and possibly even going, far beyond that. Right. So, I think the Clarity Act is actually extremely bullish. And I think once the Clarity Act gets passed, right, I think that is when BlackRock's XRP ETF is going to come out.
Yes, 100%.
Right, they're going to make the announcement on BlackRock, that the XRP ETF is going to come out, and that's going to be another massive win for XRP.
Yes,
that's another thing XRP holders are kind of like waiting on right now.
100%
is that XRP ETF.
Yes,
right. Bitcoin has it, Ethereum has it, and Ethereum is basically a dead ecosystem.
Yes.
Right? So XRP getting that BlackRock ETF, it's just going to be massive.
100%.
What do you think about that?
So XRP is definitely 100% next in line for BlackRock's ETF. And the only thing that's stopping it is the Clarity Act. Now, once the Clarity Act passes, just expect an inflow of millions to possibly billions of dollars flow into XRP. And the bad thing about it is that we're going to see this when people are sleeping. So once the Clarity Act passes, just expect XRP to be a part of BlackRock's ETF. They're next in line. They're waiting. They're on the edge right now, waiting for this Clarity Act to pass, because now the regulations are there, institutional adoption. It makes sense. And just expect the insider traders to, unfortunately, to really get in on XRP. But also just be mindful that once everyone starts seeing XRP skyrocketing, they're not positioned right now. That's when retail starts going in, because unfortunately the mindset retail has is they want to buy things while they're hot. But the elites make millions and billions of dollars because they're already positioned when things are at a low cost.
100%. Now, when it comes to the inside trading thing, I really want to touch on the topic that we talked about last time when I said, what do you think the price of Bitcoin is going to be? What do you think the price is going to be in May? And you said it's going to go to $80,000, $81,000, $82,000.
I did.
And where's the price of Bitcoin at right now? It's at $81,000, $82,000.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yep.
So you predicted it perfectly.
Yeah.
How did you know?
It's just the way things flow right now. Again, the volatility with the war and stuff going on right now. A lot of countries need to utilize different assets as leverage, and digital gold is where they're going to put their money at right now. So it makes sense. And as long as this war is going on, everything's going to be digital currency. So why not put it into Bitcoin as a security and lock it up?
Okay, I like that. I like that. Now, I still believe that Bitcoin's going to reach $45,000 this month in May.
This month.
Yes, I'm still a big believer that we're going to see Bitcoin go from where it's at right now, 80,000, all the way down to $45,000, because as we look at the war, it's just getting worse and worse, and more people are realizing that Trump is lying about the position of the United States in the war in Iran, right? Where Trump is going out saying that we're winning this war, you know what I mean? Iran is suffering. In reality, the only thing that's suffering is the United States. We just seen Spirit Airlines shut down.
Yeah.
Spirit Airlines, a $1 billion company, shut down because they can't afford the oil prices right now, right? And that's a victory for Iran.
It is.
Spirit Airlines shutting down is a victory for Iran.
It is.
And now we kind of have JetBlue coming out. The JetBlue founder says the airline is headed for bankruptcy. The company is $8 billion in debt, right? Like now we have Spirit Airlines,
Yeah.
and now we're gonna have JetBlue go out of business
Yeah.
overnight. That's how badly this war is affecting the United States, right? So when people say, you know, $45,000 Bitcoin, there's no way that's going to happen. Listen, when you have major airline companies going out of business,
Yeah.
how can you not see a $45,000 Bitcoin?
It makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
So, and it's gonna spiral into more things going out of business. Right?
Yeah.
You know, airline prices are going to skyrocket, you know what I mean? And there's going to be less traveling. You know, right now, retail is getting priced out, in my
100%.
opinion, of what's going on. So you're still remaining bullish on that? Because you were right. You're right. Are you still having a bullish sentiment when it comes to Bitcoin for the month of May? Because I'm seeing 45,000.
Well, I already reached my point. I'm not saying that it can't go down after. You asked if where's Bitcoin going to be? I didn't tell you how long it was going to be there. And with everything going on, no one can predict what's happening tomorrow.
Yeah, 100%.
It's market manipulation, so you could be right. Also, when it comes to Spirit and JetBlue, it shows a lot about how the economy is. It's either you're poor or you're rich. They took out the poor airline, if that makes any sense.
Oh, yeah.
The elites are making it very clear, like, you need, if you want to travel and fly, you need to make millions. And I told you guys before, it's the elites and then everyone else.
Yeah.
And this is a proven point. And maybe Breeze Airways, Frontier, they're probably going to be winning at this. Avelo, there's other airlines right now, but those are other airlines that we have to like see if they're going to exist also.
Man, I agree.
So.
You said it perfectly. Now going back to crypto.
Yep.
All right, in the Clarity Act,
Mm-hmm.
what are your top 3 cryptos you should buy before the Clarity Act gets passed?
All right. Number 1, XRP. XRP is 100% going to skyrocket right when, not after, when the Clarity Act passes. Okay. Institutional adoption, like I've said repeatedly. Other banks are waiting for that to happen. And XRP 100% is the utility that is based on is going to be used, cross-border payments. And that's going to be the foundation for it to take over the whole entire global financial institutions and the way money moves around the world. So XRP number 1. Number 2, Solana. Now, Solana is going to be the new Ethereum. I think Solana is Ethereum at its early stages. A lot of people utilize it. The president utilizes it. It's so much faster. The ecosystem's phenomenal. XRP merged with Solana. It is now live on Solana. Why? XRP and Solana 100%. And then number 3 is going to be Tau. Bit&Sword. Now, people sleep on this, and it is at, I think, $288 right now. But with AI being such a strong narrative, Tau is basically equivalent to being the NVIDIA of the crypto world because it's AI integrating with the whole entire crypto system. So that's something to look out for. Is it expensive right now? Yes. But we can actually see Tau going into the thousands. Thousands once the Clarity Act passes.
Okay.
So what are yours?
My top 3 cryptos before the Clarity Act gets passed. Number 1 is going to always be XRP. XRP is basically where all the money is going to be flowing into. Once that Clarity Act gets passed, right? Trillions of dollars are going to flow directly into XRP. So that's the one everyone needs to be holding before it gets passed.
Okay.
Number 2, HBAR.
Ooh.
I always say HBAR is like one of the first currencies that the Swift banking system actually ran live test on, right? So big money's already paying attention to H-bar. So that's that second currency that's going to explode once the Clarity Act gets passed.
Okay.
Number 3, I'm going to have to say Solana, right? For the same exact reason, right? When we look at all the real money, what are they using? They're using Solana. They know where retail is at, right? Solana is the only utility project that retail is focused on. It's the only utility project that retail is actually using. So it has to be number 3, but I'm going to put H-bar above it.
I get why. It makes sense.
I have to put H-bar above it. Now, okay. I have another good question for you.
Okay.
What are the top 3 cryptos that are going to zero?
Oh, man. All right. People are going to call me crazy for this one. I think Ethereum. Number 1, Ethereum. Okay. The reason why I say that is because its ecosystem's kind of like, it's good, but I feel like Solana's going to take over. There's so much more opportunity and room in Solana that I feel that Solana is going to definitely flip Ethereum at some point. Number 2, Litecoin. I saw an interview of the creator of Litecoin, and he kind of regretted making it. It seemed like in the interview, and I saw this on Twitter X, and I said to myself, why would anybody be bearish about their own stuff? So as an owner, I don't like that at all. So I'm gonna take Litecoin out of the picture. And then number 3 is gonna catch a lot of people off guard. I don't care what anybody says. XLM.
Why XLM?
XLM's utility is to provide access to big financial institutions in like small little countries that don't have access, right? And it's working with XRP. XRP is gonna be a monopoly, but we don't need you anymore.
So you think XRP is just gonna price out XLM? Where it's just gonna be like XRP is way more. It's just it does what XLM could do, but better.
Well, 100%. XRP, once the Clarity Act passes, integrating with Solana, they're gonna become like the Walmart of crypto.
Okay.
All right. So when you go to Walmart, how many departments are in Walmart? It's a one-stop shop. You don't have to go anywhere. If you go to a super Walmart, you can get your groceries and everything else. You can get groceries and a bicycle at Walmart. So why not have XRP be the same thing within its ecosystem? Now that it's working with Solana, think about it.
I agree.
They're playing a long-term game.
I agree.
So that's why I think so. What about you?
Those were good. All right. So my top 3 cryptos that can go to zero is number 1, Bitcoin. Yes, Bitcoin can go to zero.
Wow.
The fact that Jeffrey Epstein is behind Bitcoin and it's its inception, right? He was an early investor, right? And his fingers were all in Bitcoin. Tell me that Bitcoin could go to zero, right?
Okay.
For me, gold already proved that Bitcoin has no value. Bitcoin is slow, right? And the only thing that tells you that Bitcoin has value is Michael Saylor throwing out, $2 to $3 million Bitcoin price predictions. That's it, which we'll get more into that.
Yeah.
Right? But that's the only thing.
Yeah.
Number 2, Ethereum. It's going to zero.
Okay.
Ethereum is going to zero because, like you said, the ecosystem is dead. Everyone is using Solana.
Yeah.
That's where retail is at. And Ethereum gas prices are way too high.
Correct.
Retail can't use Ethereum. Right? It prices them out. They can't use it. So Ethereum is going to zero. Number 3, Cardano is going to zero.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
If you want to talk about ecosystems being dead, bro, there's not a single person using Cardano's ecosystem right now. Right? It's pointless. It's old man technology. No one wants to use it. It's dead. There's no meme coins being built for Cardano. There's no real technology being built for Cardano. It's dead. And Charles Hopkinson is just, as a dev, he doesn't market his coin. He looks down on marketing. He looks down on a lot of things that can push Cardano higher. And it's just dead. It's going to zero. Cardano's going to zero. So Bitcoin's going to zero. Ethereum's going to zero, and Cardano is going to zero. And that's just my opinion. Now, switching over
Okay.
to XRP,
Okay.
right? Is the $10,000 XRP price prediction dangerous for XRP holders?
I don't know how to answer that question. Can you elaborate on it?
I can answer the question for you.
I'd rather you answer it.
No.
All right.
All right. So right now, there's a big thing going on in just crypto Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, where there's people saying, the reason why XRP can't reach the prices that it's meant to reach is because there's people saying that, throwing out these crazy XRP price predictions like $10,000. And I want to say to those people that these $10,000 price predictions for XRP is what drives liquidity into XRP. Right? So the fact that you're saying, it's taking away from XRP. No, it drives liquidity. Speculation for XRP is what brings the price higher. Right? If there was no one speculating XRP's price, it would be dead. Like ADA. Right? Listen, you have to listen. The fact that there's a community talking about XRP, there's people holding XRP, right? That's what drives the price, the speculation.
100%.
Right? So it's not dangerous for XRP holders to have this type of speculation. Right? It's dangerous for people to say it can't go to those prices. It's never going to happen. Right?
True.
Why do you hold XRP in the first place if you believe it can't reach these prices?
100%.
Right? Like, and then the fact that, like, if you're gonna talk shit about the XRP holders that believe these crazy price predictions, right?
Yeah.
Talk shit about the fucking Bitcoin people who say, it's going to millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Right? Bitcoin reached 100,000. Right? Bitcoin could reach millions of dollars. I believe that, right?
Yes.
I think it's going to go to zero one day. But, Michael Saylor gets on stage, right? He's worth billions of dollars and says, yeah, Bitcoin could definitely reach millions of dollars, and people go crazy. But when someone says, XRP could reach 10,000, it's like, no, it can't. Come on, bro.
Yeah. Well,
it's like, look at what XRP was designed to do.
Yeah.
It's designed to take over the entire global financial system.
Yeah.
What was Bitcoin designed to do?
Be digital gold.
That's it. And it's losing to gold in real time.
Yeah.
Right now. People are buying gold over Bitcoin. So, now,
well,
going back to that question,
yes.
Is the $10,000 XRP price prediction dangerous for XRP holders?
I think that if you hold XRP, that means you own that product. And as an owner of that product, if you don't believe that XRP is going to reach $10,000, you shouldn't own XRP because you don't believe in it. You don't believe in the utility. You don't believe that it's going to take over the whole entire global financial system. You are just not a believer. And you have to be optimistic when you have a product. People will call you crazy, but people called a lot of people crazy. The KFC guy didn't make millions until he was 65 because he went door to door selling fried chicken, and everyone called him crazy. And guess what? He made millions. Even the guy that created XRP, everyone called him crazy in the 90s. He helped create XRP, and guess what? It skyrocketed. You get what I'm saying? If he believed that everybody was downplaying him and he believed in everybody, XRP wouldn't be where it's at right now. So why not believe that XRP is going to reach $10,000? Who are you to tell us that? You're a person that just doesn't believe it. You just think short term. You don't think long term. You're a disgrace to the XRP community.
Oh my God. Okay. Well,
why not be?
But is the $10,000 XRP price prediction dangerous for XRP holders?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Why though? Like, why? I don't understand. If that's just in general how you feel about yourself. How you feel about yourself, you just gotta bring out to the world. So if I say XRP is gonna be $10,000 one day, it will, because I believe it.
Well, you're speculating. It's okay for speculation.
It's okay for speculation.
It's okay. It's not. What you believe doesn't always come true.
It's not. Listen, it's not financial.
It's okay to speculate. It's okay to have predictions on where the price can go. What's the potential? You got to remember. Look at how small, right? The entire market cap for crypto it's a $3 trillion market cap. That is extremely small.
It is.
Right? You know, when you look at stocks are sitting at 140 trillion.
All right.
Right? When you look at gold's sitting at like 39, 40 trillion as an asset.
Yeah.
Crypto is extremely small. So when people want to say, when people say, you know, XRP could reach a $10,000 price tag, right? It's like, yeah, you know, one day that could possibly happen.
100%. And here's what people need to realize. If XRP takes over the SWIFT banking system, the SWIFT banking system moves trillions of dollars a day. If you get a percentage of those trillions of dollars, then the crypto market cap doesn't even matter anymore because XRP is like its own entity.
Well, yeah, now it's all the money's flowing through it. All right, so let's move forward. All right. The chief investment officer, right, has he was I think he was at the XRP Las Vegas event, right?
Okay.
The chief investment officer basically released some sort of analytic reports that expect XRP to reach $4,300. Now, this was stated in an interview in Las Vegas at the XRP event.
Yes.
Right. So he said, you know, after them looking at some analytical reports, that XRP had the potential to reach or is going to reach $4,300.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Right. That's insane.
It is.
So, you know, it's even the people behind the scenes are giving that type of speculation for XRP. So I think it's massive.
Yes.
Right? It's just like if they, you know, if people believe it, if the conversation is being talked about and it drives people to XRP, that's good for you.
Absolutely.
That makes you money.
Absolutely.
That you got to remember, you know, at the end of the day, people deem, right, the asset valuable.
Yeah.
Right? When you like the Bitcoin's valuable because some, you know, Michael Saylor gives it value.
Yeah, he's like
right.
If
promoter. Michael Saylor wasn't giving crazy price predictions for Bitcoin and he wasn't buying Bitcoin, no one would buy Bitcoin. We give it value. So if people believe and keep speculating that XRP could reach $10,000, then, you know, there's a possibility that it can because we give it value.
Absolutely.
So, all right, but on to the next thing because David Schwarz has been saying some crazy things.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna read exactly what David Schwarz said. Okay. Right. So Ripple's CTO David Schwarz says, if there were a few very rich, very rational people who really believe that there was a 1% chance that XRP could hit 10,000 in 10 years, they'd bid XRP to at least $20 today. Why aren't they? Right? This is David Schwarz saying this. And it's like he goes against the speculation of XRP. Okay. Right? It's just like if there were a very rational people who really believe that there was a 1% chance, why aren't they bidding it up right now? If the $10,000 price prediction for XRP was true, right, we'll see XRP at $20 today. Now, I want people to this is what I got to say. I think David Schwarz is one of those people who works for Nike and can't stop talking about Adidas. Right? It's like, why are you shitting on your own project? Why are you shitting on your own technology that you are working on?
Yeah. At
the end of the day, it goes back to what I said. Look at how small the entire crypto ecosystem is. This is still a very new asset. We're still waiting on the Clarity Act to get passed. And you're going to basically go on X and shit on your own piece of technology that you're working on, right? Yeah. That drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Right now, it drives me fucking insane. Yeah. Right? When he says something like that.
Well, it's the same guy. He's on the tech side of it. David Schwarz is on the tech side of Ripple. Okay. He was one of the developers, the main one that created XRP. He's also the same guy. It's actually a bullish statement. I'm going to tell you why. He's the same guy that sold his Bitcoin when it was worth almost nothing. He sold Ethereum when it was at $1, I think. And he just sold a crap load of XRP. Why? I think he's working on something else. I'm sorry. Maybe he can't say it out loud. People are saying that, oh, he believed that it wasn't good. He didn't believe that it was gonna be as high as it was right now, according to sources. That XRP wasn't gonna go as high as he has right now. So he wanted to liquidate it while he can to spend time with his family or whatnot, take care of some things. But if you work on a project, you probably aren't legally allowed to tell people that you're working on a project too.
All right, but let's stay on the topic. Let's stay on topic though. I just for you know, it just drives me crazy.
It drives me crazy too
to see that tweet, because it's just like when you're working on a project, when you're building the foundation for XRP and what it's trying to do, you need to be delusional about your product.
Absolutely.
You need to be delusional about the technology and where it could go and what you're building. When you are not delusional about what you're building, that shows weakness.
It does.
Right? And people sniff out the weakness.
100%.
Brad Garlinghouse is going up there, right? He's killing it. As a face for XRP and Ripple, he is absolutely killing it.
He is.
He's not saying anything about the speculation. He's letting people speculate, and he continues to build behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
David Schwarz getting on X and just voicing his emotional opinions about the price of XRP, and even saying that the XRP family, the XRP community is just as delusional as, you know, the Bitcoin holders, is fucking crazy to me.
It is fucking crazy.
And the fact that he sold
26
million XRP blows my mind.
But it's also known that once he does stuff like that, the coin is going to blow up. It always happens. But you have to understand, going back to what I said, he just knows the tech side of things. He just understands tech. Some people just want to know tech, and no one knows marketing. Look at Charles Hoskinson. He helped develop Ethereum. He's on the tech side of things. That's why he doesn't know how to market. So with him, everything has to be black and white. There's no delusional. Everything has to be. That's what's happening with David Schwartz right now.
Yes.
But let's just imagine this. If David Schwartz didn't have a marketing team, do you think XRP would be where it's at right now?
No, it wouldn't. I'm sorry to tell you.
Yeah, 100%. So it doesn't surprise me. It does not surprise me that he says something like that. It makes me pissed off too. But just understand his mindset already.
This is the guy who basically sold Bitcoin for nothing. Sold Ethereum at $1. So it's like, brother, you haven't made any money. I mean, you've made money with XRP, but I mean, look at all the assets you sold at the very beginning. You sold them at the very bottom. So for XRP holders who are upset like me, you know,
same,
right? It's just like, I don't even pay no mind.
You can't.
You're a technology guy, and you know, thank God that's your realm. Because in terms of marketing, it's just like, thank God Brad Garlinghouse is the face, and he's pushing it, because if David Schwartz was the face, XRP would end up exactly like Cardano.
A good similarity is when you watch the movie Founders with the guy that owns McDonald's now. McDonald's was just a shack that just flipped burgers, and the owner came. The guy that found McDonald's, he saw a bigger picture. He owns the land now. He knew how to market McDonald's. So that's what's happening with Brad Garlinghouse and David Schwartz. David Schwartz is basically the two brothers that founded McDonald's. But without the other guy, the founder, McDonald's would not be where it's at right now.
100%. All right, moving forward. All right, Trump's family's crypto firm, World Liberty Financials, files defamation lawsuit against Tron founder Justin's son.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I think, in my opinion, that is the most anti-crypto thing President Trump can absolutely do.
Why is he suing, Justin's son for defamation?
So a backstory to this: when the Trump coin came out and World Liberty Fi, Justin's son was one of the biggest investors. And they really were like best friends at that point, obviously, because he's a huge investor. Now, when it came time for his coins to be tradable, they froze his account. So he was pissed because, you know, what he initially spent was $45 million into World Liberty Fi was
Insane.
now worth $1 billion. And you mean to tell me I can't cash out my own money at $1 billion? So he was talking trash about Trump and whatnot because they froze his account, which is against everything crypto represents. Crypto is meant for no one to hold it, no one to tell you what to do, no one to freeze it. It's just free game. So for your assets to be frozen, and now I think over 81% is down. So he's holding on to frozen assets that are worth nothing. So now that happened, the Trump administration sued him back for defamation, saying that he was talking trash on social media, that he hires social media people and all these bots to really shit on the Trump. So, which is, you know, the Trump administration is known to sue fake news and whatnot.
Yeah.
But in this case, I don't think it's fake news. It's Justin's son. He $45 million. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But how do you feel about it?
I mean, it's just bearish. It's bear market activities.
Yeah.
It's bear market activities. It is sad to see Trump, you know, basically sue Justin's son, right?
Yeah.
And no one should be freezing any type of money.
Yeah.
I think that's fucking crazy, and that doesn't stand for what, you know, what crypto's about. But at the end of the day, you know, that's just how the real world works. And I'm just going to be honest with you.
Exit
right?
liquidity.
Wall Street had to freeze everything when it came to GameStop back in, I think it was 2021. So, you know, if the real world works like that and Wall Street's doing it, they're going to use that same thing for crypto.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to do when that Clarity Act gets passed. Remember that.
Yeah.
Clarity Act is bullish
Yep.
for utility tokens, right? But understand all this illegal activity, all this wild west shit is going out the door once that Clarity Act gets passed. So have fun with crypto right now, but once that Clarity Act gets passed, this shit is not the wild west anymore. Everything is going to be tracked. Everything is going to be documented.
Yep.
And the illegal activity, and it's going to go away.
Well, now
well, maybe it's not going to go away immediately.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think big money wants to take away, you know, the identity of crypto, which is scam culture. But let's move forward. Let's move forward.
Yes, sir.
All right. So going over to hype, you know,
Yeah.
I'm a big hype investor, right?
Yeah.
So it just came out that a group of wallets linked to Multicoin Capital have just staked $82 million worth of hype, which is insane, right? When you stake $82 million, right, of something, of an asset,
Yeah.
right, and you're locking it up, it tells you exactly where the asset's gonna go,
Yeah.
right? And that's a lot of money. That's big. And like I said last time, I wouldn't stake. You know, it's dangerous to stake. But when these you know, wallets that are grouped up staking 82 million worth,
Yeah.
you know, what's going to happen to hype? Where is it going to go? Right. And I think, you know, I got to give a nice little hype price prediction real quick. So this is where I believe hype is going to go. Right. Hype is currently sitting at $42 right now.
Okay.
In my opinion, I think we're going to see hype reach $300 to $500. Right. If big money is staking hype right now,
yes,
right, it's going to reach $300 to $500 soon, right? They know something's coming. And the fact that hype allows you to trade oil, allows you to trade, you know, stocks 24 hours is a game changer.
100%.
But the thing is it going to stick around once that Clarity Act passed? That's the thing, because traditional, you know, when you look at, you know, the stock market closes.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Hype is like, we're free game. We're open all day, every day. You could trade everything you want to. You could take advantage. And that's kind of, that's the edge that people have right now using hype.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I think that it's not going to be affected, because if it were going to be affected, why did smart money invest millions of dollars into it? That company already had $114 million already invested. So another additional 80 is huge. I can see hype being like the poly market of the crypto world. And you have to understand, a lot of the money and liquidity coming out of it is leverage trading, which is the devil's game. But a lot of people, we have gambling culture. Warren Buffett already said to the world that this is the era of gambling. People do options and all that stuff. And this is the same situation we're dealing with hype. So it's no surprise to me that that happen, but I don't think the Clarity Act is going to affect hype at all. I think it's going to be even more bullish, because if the people that are doing quote unquote illegal activities are going to be eliminated allegedly from crypto, this is their out.
Yep, I agree. Now, real quick, moving on to something else. The
Okay.
Big Short. Remember that movie?
Yep.
The Big Short investor, Michael Berry, sells all of his GameStop stock.
Yep.
That's crazy.
It is.
That's crazy. How do you feel about that?
So I looked into it, and the reason why he sold all of his stock in GameStop is because he did not want to take the risk on the eBay move. Because if GameStop buys eBay, they're going to be in a shitload of debt, and that debt needs to come from somewhere. So he's like, I don't like the way this is moving. It's not good debt. It's bad debt. So he said, I'm pulling out while I can now. And, he moves very quick, just like that. He didn't believe in the eBay move. He did not want GameStop to touch that. And I'm pretty sure that he was on the board saying, I don't want this to happen, because that evaluation was huge.
Yep.
But then, GameStop will be in a shitload of debt. So he had to pull out. And even when he did, it was only short. People still bought a crap load of it.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. All right. So did you see that Trump joked about when he's getting out of office?
Yeah.
He said 8 to 9 years from now.
Yeah.
Right? What do you think about that?
I think it's highly possible, especially with all these peptides. He's going to have a longevity peptide. A dude.
Yeah, but all right, real quick though. When Trump is standing on stage and he's joking about, I'll get out of office 8 to 9 years from now.
Yeah.
Do you think there's some truth in the joke that he is saying? Because at the end of the day, right, I think it is smart to leave him in office, right? He's doing everything they want him to do, right? And the thing is like, hey, man, leave the puppet in the office, right? Leave him there as long as we can. If we remove him, our power goes away. But if we keep him there, our power stays. So I think that 8 to 9 year joke might have some truth in it. Now, going over to something that's just hilarious. McDonald's removes all their self-serve soda fountains from all locations. What do you think about that?
Well, McDonald's, first and foremost, people overuse the fountain services, and it takes up a lot of water. Now, there's a way bigger picture that nobody's talking about right now. AI is humongous. The narrative is huge. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. What people don't understand is what helps run AI, right? There's electricity and there's some type of plumbing. AI utilizes a lot of water to cool down their systems. So if we're just going ahead and utilizing the water in McDonald's might have a good investment in AI. I mean, technically they are right now, because when you go to McDonald's, you're using a big iPad to put your order in. They eliminated the whole freaking people taking your order.
Well, yeah, but what you're saying is this. The reason why McDonald's is removing all their self-serve soda fountains from all locations is because they foresee, a lack in water. So everybody's paying attention to the water, the oil shortage, but no one's paying attention to the water shortage that's about to come.
100%.
That's basically what you're saying.
Yes. And they're not the first. They're not going to be the first or last food chain that stops that, by the way. Everything's going to be limited, which is actually good for our health. I mean, I'm kind of going left right now, but do we need to drink that many?
You're going left.
I'm sorry. Do we need that much soda? Come on.
Yeah, no, but I mean, but for the topic, it's the reason why there's going to be a water shortage.
Yes.
All right. Now, I don't know if you know this, right? This is the last question.
Okay.
Well, not the last question, but it's a did you know, right?
Okay.
Did you know that 95 to 100% of the United States government's Bitcoin comes from it being seized from criminal cases, hacks, darknet markets, and fraud investigations? 95 to 100%.
Yes, it doesn't.
That is the United States ain't even buying it.
No,
They're not buying it. They're not mining it. It's all seized assets from criminal activities. That is fucking insane.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
We don't even got to buy it.
No.
We don't even got to buy it. You know what's crazy? And I'm real quick. I'm gonna dive into some conspiracy theory shit.
Yeah.
What's crazy is the government starts Bitcoin, right? They create Bitcoin. Jeffrey Epstein creates Bitcoin.
Yep.
Boom, right? It's used for criminal activity, right?
Yep.
That they all know about,
Yep.
right? They're all using it. All the elites are using Bitcoin for criminal activity.
Yep.
And then what they do is they basically seize
Yep.
all the Bitcoin that they've been using,
Yep.
right? For free.
Mm-hmm.
And now they have access to all this Bitcoin that they didn't even have to pay for.
Yeah.
That is in fucking insane.
Well,
this is why we need XRP to be number one.
Yeah.
And like we said on the last podcast, there was a time where XRP did replace Bitcoin in 2018.
Yeah.
But what do you think about that conspiracy theory?
It's true. It's not even conspiracy. Let's just think about it, right? Let's go back to how before cryptocurrency, if there was a crime that had involved money, what happens to the money? The FBI and the U.S. Marshals take it and disperse it amongst themselves. That's why cops really look for the money, you know, and not only the money, they'll take the assets and you go wholesale it and all that stuff. So what happens with Bitcoin when it gets seized is that there are multiple wallets that hold in cold storage. Then the way they make it liquid is that they sell it off to big institutions at a discount. Now they have liquid and now it's dispersed within the government. So how do you take this imaginary thing? And a lot of it was from that, what was that Silver Trail? I could be saying the Silver Trail, the whole, when Bitcoin was the whole conspiracy with Bitcoin.
I don't know, but continue.
All right. There was a whole time when Bitcoin was used for a lot of illegal activities and all of it got seized.
Still used.
Same thing. It's not even a conspiracy. It's a fact. They used this imaginary object and they made it liquid so they can fund themselves. It's all getting recycled, like you said. It's not even a conspiracy. It happens in real modern day. It doesn't, and this is why when people talk shit about crypto, it's no better than the dollar. When you went to Pablo Escobar's house, he moved US dollars. So I don't want to hear all the bullshit with Bitcoin, okay? It's all the same. Everything's used for illegal activities. I don't give a shit.
I agree. Now, last question before we end the podcast, real quick. What is your price prediction for Tau?
My price prediction for Tau is going to be $5,000. I know that's insane.
Wow. $5,000.
I don't think that there's going to be an AI bubble. And the reason why I say that is because Brian Armstrong, just today, fired about 14% of his staff. That's 700 people because of AI. So with Tau being equivalent to the NVIDIA of the crypto world, the AI and crypto merge, that's what Tau is. I can see Tau going from $288 to eventually down the line within a 10-year span, maybe shorter, 5 years, to $5,000.
Nice.
What about you?
I think Tau's going to zero.
What?
I don't like Tau. I don't buy it. It's not up there for me. I think Tau's going to zero.
Yeah.
If I had to give a price prediction, and I saw some comments where, you know, people wanted to kind of shit on my old LCX price predictions,
Okay.
right? I still believe LCX can reach $50 to $100 by 2030 or even earlier than that.
Why?
I'm still big on LCX. Now, why is because LCX, to me, has possibly the cleanest, most like fully built out, you know, tokenized platform where you can buy tokenized assets, real estate, gold, silver, platinum, watches, shoes, everything that is physical, that is deemed an asset, you can go grab it right now on LCX, right?
Okay.
So I think LCX still has the potential to reach $50 to $100. You have to understand that's not even that much.
Yeah.
That's not even that much. You have to understand when you're taking fractions and small percentages of massive assets like gold, real estate.
Yeah.
It could go way higher.
I get it.
With that being said, right, that's going to be the end for CoinTalk episode 4. Thank you, Crypto Jiggy.
Thank you.
Make sure you guys follow us. Sorry for all the laughing in the beginning.
Yeah.
But thank you guys. Let's cook.
Peace.